police, and during the 2020 riots, she encouraged her followers to donate to bail criminals, looters, arsonists, and murderers. She was trying to get the murderers out of jail, right? You're shaking, right? Everybody now knows it. And this is a person that wants to be president of the United States, and she didn't get a vote. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. Oh, that's nice. Kamala supports states being able to take minor children and perform sex change operation, take them away from their parents, perform sex change operation, and send them back home. Can you imagine you're a parent and your son leaves the house and you say, Jimmy, I love you so much. Go have a good day in school. And your son comes back with a brutal operation. Can you even imagine this? What the hell is wrong with our country? Her running mate, Tampon Tim, did you see he signed a bill where tampons will be in every boy's bathroom? Isn't that nice? And he's a whack job. You know, they have a standard phrase that JD, who's very solid, and I happen to be very solid. I have other problems, perhaps, but I'm a very solid person. But JD's solid, I'm solid. They said this was just a soundbite. They gave it to all the fake news. The fake news, they're weird. No, he's weird. He is really weird. This guy. Can you imagine? I'm weird. It's just, you know, they do sound bites, and they give them. They gave one the other day, manufactured. The vote was manufactured. It's not a term that's used politically. Every network headed up something about the vote was manufactured. They follow the lead of these people, but we've got the lead. You know what? We've got the people. We got to stop the cheating. If we stop that cheating, if we don't let them cheat, I don't even have to campaign anymore. We're going to win by so much. In the meantime, too big to rig. Too big to rig. But he even signed, Tampon Tim, even signed a law that allows abortion in the 9th month and babies to be executed after birth. In other words, a baby is born, and what do? The mother decides she doesn't want the baby. You execute. That's not an abortion, that's an execution. And nobody wants that. There are 6 radical left states that allow that, too, that nobody wants it to happen. Nobody wants to see it happen, where they're allowed to execute the baby after birth, and nobody talks about it. And, you know, we did a great thing when we got Roe v. Wade out of the federal government, got it back to the states, and now the states are all voting. And like Ronald Reagan, I happen to go with the exceptions. I think it's important, but other people, you have to go with your heart. But I'd say most people, 85% Republicans, they go with exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother. But the 3 exceptions, but nobody wants to happen 8th month, 7th month, 9th month, but after birth, and you have after birth, and more people, more states are even planning on doing that. Nobody wants that. And now what we're doing is, because of what we've done, they wanted, all the great legal scholars wanted it out of the federal government. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it out because it didn't belong there. They wanted it to go back to the states. And now the states are all voting. And frankly, some of those votes are coming out very liberal. If you look at Ohio, if you look at Kansas, if you look at some of the states. But the people are voting, and they're voting. We put it in the hands of the people, and they're voting. And that's the way people have wanted it for many, many years. And I'm just happy that we had Supreme Court justices that had the courage to do that, because that has torn our country apart for 52 years. And now the people are voting. From the moment we take back the White House from Comrade Kamala Harris, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around fast. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion of our country. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in the history of America. We will defeat inflation, and we will make America affordable again. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. That's called drill, baby, drill, right? Drill, baby, drill. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country. In 12 months, I will cut your energy costs in half. That means Wisconsin. We will cut it in half. And that includes your heating, air conditioning, electricity, gasoline for the cars. We'll cut it in half, and we'll do it easily. It won't even be, I think we'll do better than that. 12 months. You can hold me to it. Hold me to it. I want you to hold me to it. We're going to cut it in half. I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been. And other countries that make us pay a heavy tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. And we did it to a pretty strong extent when I was president, and we were going all the way. Then we had to solve the COVID problem. But we will be doing that. It will be called the Reciprocal Trade Act. It's reciprocal. So if China or any other country charges us a 100 or 200% tariff or tax, then we will likewise charge them a 100 or 200% tariff or tax in return. And my message is simple. Make your product here in America and only in America. So we're going to charge tariffs to all these foreign countries that are coming in and ripping us off and taking our jobs and destroying our manufacturing. And it's what they do. We're going to do the same as they do. And, you know, some of these people that are making decisions in Washington, they're very suspect, I can tell you. Not this group. This group, that's why they're here. They hate what they see happening. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, just as we made great inroads and progress 4 years ago. Nobody ever made such progress as we. We had the greatest 4 years. We rebuilt the military. We had the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. We had no wars. We had no wars. We didn't get into any wars. Who would think, here I am, we didn't, you know why? Because they were afraid of us and they respected us. They know not to mess with wars. And as I said, and I say it over and over again, Ukraine and Russia would have never happened. Israel would have never been attacked on October 7th. Iran was broke. They were broke. Now, you know, they're after me. So I should say, oh, I love Iran very much. I don't care. I got to do the right thing. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for terror. Any of the many 28 different terror organizations, they had no money. They had no money whatsoever. They wouldn't have ever even thought about doing Israel. All of the things that have happened, and you know what else wouldn't have happened? Inflation. You wouldn't have had any inflation. Inflation was caused by energy going through the roof because these people were so stupid when they took over my energy policies. And energy was going through the roof, and then they went immediately back to my energy policies, Ron. They went immediately back. But what they don't understand is by now, I would have had energy at 4 times the amount that we had 4 years ago. And we were 4 years ago energy independent. Who would believe that? Now we get our energy from Venezuela. Did you see they took his plane the other day? They took Maduro's plane. Maduro's the dictator in charge. They took his plane. I said, oh, that's so serious. Now we can get a nicer plane because we buy our energy. So we give them billions and billions of dollars, and they take back his stupid old plane. This is the thinking we have in our country. We shouldn't be buying oil from Venezuela. It's unbelievable. But we're not going to watch our wealth and our jobs get ripped away from us and sent to foreign countries. And Wisconsin will be one of the biggest beneficiaries, just like I gave you the Marinette shipbuilding contract that everybody in the country wanted. Every state wanted it. I'll probably lose a couple of states because I gave it to Wisconsin. I'll probably lose some states because I gave it to Wisconsin. But my plan is that if you open your factory in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania or Michigan or Minnesota or anywhere else in the United States, you don't pay a tariff or a tax. But if you move your production outside of the United States and send it back here, you have to pay a very substantial tariff. We're going to supercharge our country. We will charge other countries when their product is sent into our country. And why shouldn't we? That's exactly what they do. That's what made China strong. When Elon goes and wants to send his cars into China that are made in the U.S., they say, we don't want them. You have to build your factory in China. Then we'll accept you. Well, we're saying to China, you want to build cars? You want to send cars here? You're going to build your factories in the United States. You're not going to send them through, take our jobs, take everything else. Got to build them in the United States. You can open up a beautiful brand new factory with American labor. The result will be that everybody in the world will want to produce right here in the good old USA. We will be able to build ships again. We will be able to build planes again. We'll be able to build our military again, all from within our country. You know, when we build a plane, the F-35 fighter jet, I bought a lot of them for countries all over the world, actually, but I bought a lot of them. We have parts made in all different countries, and then they're assembled here. We want to make the parts here. What would happen in case of a war and two of those countries were fighting? And we say, by the way, you can't get the wings anymore. The wings are made in Turkey and other parts are made in other countries. It's so crazy what they've done. And they did that to help out other countries. It's now time for us to help out our country. In the words of a very great but highly underrated president, William McKinley, I am a tariff man standing on a tariff platform. And he said that throwing open our market without protection was, quote, it destroys the dignity and independence of American labor, diminishes its pay and employment, decreases its capacity to buy products of farm and commodities of the merchant. It will bring widespread discontent. It will revolutionize values. It will take away more than half of our earning capacity of brain and brawn. Worse than that, it will take away from the people of this country who work for a living, and a majority of them live by the sweat on their faces. It will take from their heart and from their home, and it'll take from their hope. Their final thing is their hope. It will be total self-destruction. This is the man that wanted tariffs. He wanted tariffs to be taken from foreign countries. And you listen to some of our stupid people and some of the very stupid people in Washington, D.C. We don't want to charge tariffs. That's not, it's going to increase inflation. China paid us hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had almost no inflation. This group that came in, they had the highest inflation in the history of our country. We took in billions and billions of dollars from foreign countries in the form of tariffs, and I hadn't even gotten started yet. We'll be a rich nation again. We'll be able to do what we want to do. We have to do the tariffs. We have been treated so badly, mostly by allies, if you want to know the truth. Our allies treat us actually worse than our so-called enemies. But we have been treated so badly on trade and other things, on military. We protect them, and then they screw us on trade. We're not going to let it happen anymore. We're going to be a tariff nation. It's not going to be a cost to you. It's going to be a cost to another country. I heard Kamala the other day, Comrade Kamala. She said, oh, if you do that, he's raising your taxes. No, no, no. I'm not raising your taxes. I'm raising China and all of these countries in Asia and all over the world, including the European Union, by the way, which is one of the most egregious. They don't take our cars, they don't take our farm product, and we have a $300 billion trade deficit with them. And they're going to have to pay a price now because we've been supporting them for a long time, and it's no longer sustainable. So I'm a tariff president. I'm not a tax increase president because we're going to lower your taxes. When I'm back in the White House, we will pass large tax cuts for workers and also no tax on tips. No tax on tips. I will fight for you and fight for the ability. We are going to protect Social Security. We are going to protect Medicare. And we're not going to have any cuts. We're not going to have age increases. She's going to have to, you know, a lot of these migrants that are coming in are going on to Social Security and Medicare. Your programs are going to be destroyed. You're not going to be able to get in your hospitals. You see the lines of people? You can no longer get in your hospitals. You feel sick. You want to go to your hospital. You have hundreds and even thousands of people trying to get into hospitals. They're ruining your life. They're ruining your lifestyle. They're ruining your way of life. I will have no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors because you've destroyed our seniors with your inflation. Inflation has destroyed our seniors and their Social Security. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend that money on roads, bridges, real infrastructure, and paying down debt, not fake infrastructure that has caused massive inflation and has been of no benefit to our country. And I will settle the war in Ukraine. I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III, and I'm the only one that can do it. I will prevent World War III. And if I don't win this election, Israel, with Comrade Kamala Harris at the helm of the United States, is doomed. Israel is doomed. That's a tough statement. Israel will be gone. 1 year, 2 years, Israel will no longer exist. I better win. I better win, or you're going to have problems like we've never had. We may have no country left. It may be our last election. You want to know the truth? People have said that. This may be our last election. You got to get out and vote. This could be our last election. It'll all be over, and you got to remember, I don't want to say this because they say it's braggadocious, but if you look at the record, it's true. Trump is always right. I hate to be right. I hate to be right. I'm always right. I hate to be right. I don't want to be right about the things that I predicted, but I predicted what was going to happen at the border. I predicted all of the inflation. I predicted everything that's happened to our country. I predicted Israel. Putin would have never gone in, but I said if I'm out, he's going to attack Ukraine, but he would never have done it if I were there. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C. Our cities are a mess, and they're very dangerous places. We're going to make them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, and it is currently under major siege. Many countries are leaving the dollar. They're not going to leave the dollar with me. I'll say, you leave the dollar. You're not doing business with the United States because we're going to put 100% tariff on your goods. Sir, we would like very much to get back to the dollar immediately. Thank you very much. It's so easy. I don't know. It's so sad because Biden doesn't know he's alive, and she's worse. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Together we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our great police, strengthen our wonderful military, build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. Did you see the Olympics? You had 2 boxers that transitioned from men to women. I wish them well. They transitioned, and they were fighting. It was boxing for the gold medal. And the first match, it was a beautiful young Italian boxer who was very talented, very good, said to be a real threat for the medal. And she met a transitioned person. Boom. He gave her a little jab. Boom. She backed up. Whoa, what was that? She said, I've never been hit that hard in my life. A jab is like the light one before you hit the right. Then, boom, another jab. She said, I can't, I give up. Then there was a second boxer, the same thing happened. Congratulations, they both won gold medals. How about that? They both won gold. Congratulations to them. It's so demeaning to women, I don't understand. Who would want men to be able to play? The volleyball player got hit the other day, recently, with a smash from a transitioned person. She said, I've never seen anything like it. The ball cam, she was knocked unconscious, probably won't play again. The weightlifting records for years they had held up. They couldn't, a quarter of an ounce here, a quarter of an ounce there, they couldn't do it. The record is broken by hundreds of pounds. We got to get back to sanity in this country. We have to get back to sanity. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections once and for all. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with joy, opportunity, and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, and we are going to stop the country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. We're going to do it. We have to stop it. We're going to save our country. Our country, if it doesn't win this election, I believe is finished. I believe it. We cannot come back much. They will have 100 million of these people in here with another 4 years. 100 million people. If you think you have a nice house, have a migrant enjoy your house, because a migrant will take it over. A migrant will take it over. It will be Venezuela on steroids. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country. Together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again.